90%, to give it a rough figure, of suffering, unnecessary suffering, psychological suffering, is created by the argument with reality, the argument with experience, the argument with our inner experience. Even if it seems that we're arguing or resisting or fighting that which is happening outside of us in the world, personal circumstances, unwelcome events, global situations, something unexpected that happens in our life, something painful, something unwanted, even if it seems that it's happening to us from the outside. If we examine that closely, we're arguing with our experience, we're arguing with our perception of it, we're arguing with our relationship to it, how we feel about it. So we're arguing with our own internal experience. 90% of suffering, unnecessary suffering, stems from that argument. We spoke yesterday about seeing the narratives of interpretation and interference. And asking ourselves if we are willing to simply stop giving our allegiance to those narratives, to stop following the movement of mind in its habitual grooves, in its tendency to want to fight, to fix, to control, and so on. It's helpful and perhaps more direct, not instead of, but as well as, to become sensitive to how we resist what we feel, how we resist the feeling, how we create an argument with the felt sense. So if we're looking at fear, of course fear will have many narratives, yes, embedded in it. Yeah, either the narratives create the fear, yes, by the time the narratives have wrapped themselves around whatever experience it is that is so unwelcome, that is so threatening, it has created a felt sense of fear, experienced in the mind as turbulent thoughts, tortuous thoughts, but also experienced as a felt sense, you could say, in the body. It's not really in the body, it's in consciousness, but your body is in consciousness, therefore it's experienced through the body, through the gateway of the body. And very often when that felt sense is avoided, then we are not really meeting what is here. There's a rejection of our experience, there's an avoidance. So the invitation in that is to turn towards, become intimate, get right up close with the felt sense, the energetic sense of fear, not the narratives of fear. So this is the direct way, going directly to the energy of fear. Because what we're frightened of is that fear will destroy us. Fear will annihilate us. Fear will damage us or hurt us or be so unbearable that we won't be able to survive. Yeah? So this is the invitation to the direct path, because if we can go directly to the felt sense of what is here, we will find that there's something underneath it. Inside the fear, there may be anger or rage or disappointment or helplessness or despair. And without getting to the core of the layers of feelings, there can be no freedom. Yeah, there can be no openness. Whenever we create an enemy out of our experience, we are perpetuating the dream of separation. So the end of suffering is the end of resistance. And we spoke a little bit about surrender yesterday. Not surrendering to anything, but simply surrender itself is the end of resistance. Resistance creates the argument with our experience. Resistance creates the clenched fist. Resistance creates the suffering. End of resistance is the surrender. The end of resistance is the falling open. The end of resistance is awareness just falling back into itself. There's no clinging, there's no grasping, there's no ground in that. But there is freedom. There is freedom in that.